underway from Ann Arbor. This one into the end zone for a touchback. Michigan won the toss, deferred. Ohio State Wilson in the shotgun. Travion Henderson, he's the X factor at running back in the pistol. They give it to him on first down. He'll get through the hole with a nice gain as he gets to the 30, gains 5. Graham with the tackle.
Talent all over the field.
Second down and 5 at the 30-yard line. Now McCord looking over to the Buckeye sideline. Travion Henderson remains in the game at running back. And they'll give it to him running right with a little daylight, but he'll go down after a 1-yard gain. Chris Jenkins. Empty backfield, McCord to throw it over the middle and dropped. Emeka Ibuka had it. Ohio State 3 and out to start. Third-year punter, Jesse Mirko, will send it away. He's standing at his own 17-yard line. Jake Thaw, the deep man for Michigan at the 25. This one, end-over-end kick. Thaw comes up to field it and has it at the 35. A 35-yard punt. Decent field position. Corum in at running back. Wilson, the motion man. McCarthy throwing on first down, near side, incomplete. Cornelius Johnson.
This Ohio State team last year who went off in that fourth quarter.
Second down and 10 at the 35 for Michigan. McCarthy out of the gun. He'll give it to Corum. Corum pushing forward. He'll gain 5 yards on the play. Ty Hamilton.
Wilson Loveland and A.J. Barnum.
Donovan Edwards comes in. Now he lines up as a receiver at the bottom of your screen on 3rd and 5 at the 40. Edwards in motion. McCarthy finds him on a short pass, and he'll go nowhere. Ohio State ready for it. Newsom. Maryland pinning the Terps deep a number of times. He'll punt it away from the 25. Ibuka, the deep man, comes up, and he has it at the 24-yard line. A 37-yard
here with the Hawkeyes.
First down and 10 of the 24. He's done a wonderful job. Ohio State running it with Travion Henderson. Derek
up to those linebackers as quickly as possible.
He's battled injuries this year. Missed 3 games after the Notre Dame win in South Bend. Second down and 8 at the 26. McCord looking. McCord dumps it over the middle. Henderson in space, and he'll pick up a first down. Match of the season for Henderson. First and 10 at the 37. Second series for the Buckeyes. Here's McCord looking left, fires incomplete. Marvin Harrison Jr., the intended receiver. And 10 at the 37. And they'll hand it off. Henderson, and he'll go nowhere. Drop for a loss. Josiah Stewart, the Coastal Carolina transfer, first man to him. No gain.
Let's see if they
defense first in scoring defense. 3rd and 10 at the 37. McCord, empty backfield. Trips up top. Looks that way. Short pass underneath. Xavier Johnson looking for the first down. He's close, but I think he may be short on 11. Mirko. Thaw comes up, fields it at the 20. And that's where J.J. McCarthy. And before this team, it means everything. Wolverines trying to run it over the right side. Ohio State prepared. JT.
You said this is really the first playoff game for these two teams this year.
Second down and 9 to the 22. And Blake Corum slithering through the hole. Actually make that Donovan Edwards. And Edwards gains 5 yards on the play. 3rd down and 4 at the 27. Edwards remains in the game. Loveland in motion. McCarthy bouncing it outside. McCarthy wants to throw it, tucks it, and will not pick up the first down.
And that's another stop for Ohio State.
Tommy Doman punting it away from the 15. Ibuka backpedaling. Doman. And he'll kick this one into with McCord. Play fake. McCord underneath. Intercepted. Michigan Will Johnson jumped the route, cross forward, and has it at the 5-yard line. The red zone scoring touchdowns. Can the Wolverines pay it off right here? McCarthy gives it to Corum. Corum running right. He'll cross the line of scrimmage. Runs into Tyleek Williams, about a yard. Corum skipping. Corum pushing forward, and he'll go down. Close to the 1-yard line. Sonny Styles got him. A 5-yard gain. And that brings up 3rd down and goal. Blake Corum, 20 touchdowns, out of the eye, second man, pushing forward. No signal yet. And they say he's down inside the 1.
The ruling on the field stands, 4th down.
So Corum did not get in. Max Bredesen, the up back. Corum, touchdown Wolverines. And Michigan strikes first, capitalizing on the Kyle McCord.
Led across the goal line for a touchdown.
Extra point, James Turner, good. Blake Corum has scored a run. Three short of Anthony Thomas's all-time mark of 55. How do the Buckeyes respond? Championship.
Yeah, and that should be a phenomenal game. And those two quarterbacks, Nix and Penix, been a couple of the best quarterbacks in the country.
Big series for Kyle McCord after throwing the interception. First down and 10 at the 25. They pitch it, Henderson. And Henderson turns the corner. He'll get close.
And they got to get him an easy completion, Gus. If they're going to throw it, it needs to be something that he might be on the move or an easy completion on the outside.
Second down and 6 at the 29. Henderson running left this time. Trying to get outside. Bottled up, and he'll get across the 30.
Side, and it's been Will Johnson that has gotten that responsibility against Marvin Harrison Jr. They're in the slot together again.
3rd down and 4th at 31. McCord to throw it. Lobs it in the air. Back shoulder caught at the 45. Marvin Harrison.
By Harrison and Ohio State going quickly.
McCord again to throw. McCord down the field and incomplete. Marvin Harrison Jr., the intended receiver. He
can run defense.
Second down and 10 at the 45. Fleming in motion. McCord looks that way. McCord now buys time and throws. Flag on the play. That ball caught on the sideline.
He's working with Derek Moore.
Personal foul, illegal helmet contact, hands to the face, defense, number 8, 15-yard penalty from the end of the run, automatic first down.
Down and 10, Ohio State at the Michigan 27.
Got a couple of tight ends down here to the right.
McCord, delayed handoff, Henderson, and he'll run into the pile. Chris Jenkins leading the way for Ohio State. McCord with time, over the middle, and broken up. Michael Barrett almost had the second interception.
Going to have opportunities for these interceptions because he doesn't get to number 2 and number 3 in the progression often. If it's there in rhythm, he's very good. But if he's got to throw that, a lot of times he'll put it in traffic.
Play clock at 1. And a timeout call by Ohio State. 2:21 to go in the first quarter. Michigan with a 7-0 lead. McCord. Sideline throw, incomplete. Emeka
in coverage, but they pass off their responsibilities. McCord, he saw that, tried to pull it down.
Jaden Fielding into attempt a 43-yarder, gets it up, And good. Ohio State on the board. And we'll stay right here with two during this suspension. Defeated Penn State on the road. And this ball fair caught inside the 5. In at running back for U of M. 1st and 10 at the 25. McCarthy to the sideline. Puts it on the money. Roman Wilson turns it up. He'll get close to the first down. 34. Edwards. First down, Wolverines.
Blake Corum was long.
It is going to be tough slower yards during the course of the season. And in large part, that's why they're playing so well.
First down, Wolverines. McCarthy on the play fake over the middle, and he finds his tight end, Colston Loveland. This is the matchup. It's 5'2", 45, sophomore. Colston Loveland from Gooding, Idaho. And a timeout called by the Buckeyes. Let's see if that affects his mobility today. McCarthy looking, fires, deep ball, sideline, incomplete. Confident. And on 2nd and long, they'll pick up 2 with Donovan Edwards. And that could take us to the end of the first quarter. And 8 for the Wolverines. McCarthy to throw it, under pressure, underneath, and it's caught. This time, A.J. Barner, the Indiana transfer, not enough for the first down. So let's see if Michigan goes for it. On 3rd and 8, they get 7.
And another one of the assistants, they're kind of arguing about the personnel that was involved, and they will take that timeout.
Michigan last week to start the second half against Minnesota. 4th down and a yard. Big package for the Wolverines. Corum, lone setback. Corum dives forward, I don't know. And they give it to him. It was close. Ohio State 38. Edwards looking for a crease, and Ohio State gets him quickly. 2-yard gain. Remember,
carry in that game.
2nd down and 8 at the 36. McCarthy gives it to Edwards. Tries to bounce it, and Edwards ridden out of bounds. Short gain. Igbanu. McCarthy steps up in the pocket. McCarthy looking. McCarthy, can he get to the line to gain? Doesn't look like it. But let's see the spot.
After review, the runner was short of the line to gain. His 4th down.
23rd birthday. 4th down and short. Play fake. They find the tight end on the sideline, Colston Loveland. 1st down, Michigan. Converted 4th down plays. 1st down and 10 at the 22. Donovan Edwards back in the game. And Edwards, he'll go nowhere.
Donovan Edwards, the ball carrier.
Interior defense, excellent for Ohio State. First man to him, Jack Sawyer.
Yeah, the difference in the game.
Down and 10 at the 22. Corum back in. Play fake. McCarthy steps up in the pocket, throws sideline, incomplete. Roman Wilson being
They want right now.
14th play of the drive that started at the Michigan 25. 3rd and 10 of the 22. J.J. McCarthy looking over the middle. Caught! Touchdown, Wolverines! Roman Wilson. J.J. McCarthy threw that one off his back foot.
Right now.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
James Turner for the extra point, and it's good. Tommy Doman taking it away. Xavier Johnson, he'll get a shot from his own goal line. And Johnson across the 25 up to the 27. Let's go downstairs and check it. All right, 1st and 10 of the 27. Chip Trainum comes in at running back. The former linebacker out of Arizona State. Trainum with room, cuts it back, spins forward, and he'll get 9.
They desperately need some success here on.
McCord, play fake. Up top, caught Stover. Big gain for Kyle Stover, the tight end. Ohio State looking for their rhythm on offense. Stover underneath once again. This time it's Abuka. And Emeka Abuka leaning forward. Junior, 6 of 12, 85 yards. Second down and 4 at the 26. He'll throw it again. Check it down. Henderson, first down and more. As he's wrestled down inside the 20 by Mikey Sainristil. A gain of 7. Replaces Henderson. Here's the reverse. Johnson cuts it up. Flag on the play as he'll fall forward inside the 15.
Xavier Johnson was the ball carrier. Junior Colson on the tackle.
Mason Graham hit the ground there, number 55, the defensive tackle from Michigan. I wonder if he was pulled down. I know he was signaling for a hold.
Defense, number 55. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
Trainum, the big fella in the backfield. They give it to him. Cuts it up. Trainum will go down inside the Michigan 5.
Chip Cheatham, the ball carrier.
Plus, this has been
And goal at the 3. Play fake. McCord dumps it off. Caught. Touchdown Buckeyes. Emeka Abuka. Got it up and good. 8-play drive covering.
He scores, so got to feel good about the way his team has responded here on the road.
14-10 coming up.
SEC guy.
He is an SEC guy. Guys, let's send it upstairs.
All right, Rob, thank you very much. Here's McCarthy, swings it out to Donovan Edwards. Edwards crosses the line of scrimmage and will dive out of bounds.
Get this ball back for the offense.
Second down and 5 at the 30-yard line. McCarthy in trouble, scrambling. McCarthy throws across his body. Whoa! What a throw! Cornelius Johnson with the catch at midfield. J.J. McCarthy. First down, Michigan. Corum.
Blake Corum, the ball carrier.
And Corum will pick
The ball down the field.
McCarthy, 8 of 11, 85 yards. Blake Corum. And he'll be knocked backwards. This Ohio State run defense playing it. Third down and 5 at the 46. Wilson in motion. McCarthy steps up and goes down. Great pressure by this Ohio State defense. Michael Hall Jr. gets home. The 35 field position. Huge in this game, and Doman does it again. Moscone. Another shot that he banks off the bumper. First down and 10 at their own 2. Travion Henderson in the backfield. Henderson straight ahead. Not much. Josiah Stewart.
After that carry in the middle of the line of scrimmage.
Ohio State has scored on its last 2 possessions. Second down and 8. Trainum. And Trainum taken down quickly by Chris Jenkins from the 5. McCord sprints out of the pocket in the back of the end zone. Fleming, is it a catch? Yes, it is. First down, Ohio State.
McCord had to throw this off his back foot. Does Fleming secure this ball? Sure does look like it. What a catch from Fleming as it gets ripped out there after he hits that sideline. Came out late. What a great job by Fleming. Extension there, controlling that ball. And McCord just getting it off before that rush got to him.
Gives Ohio State a little breathing room. And they're going to take a look at it.
Well, and again, now this is a little bit different from the element of time that we...
After review, it's a completed pass, first down.
Some feel that Ohio State, they have the best receivers. Julian Fleming in motion. McCord steps up in the pocket. Throws it deep. McCord caught at the 40-yard line. Maserati Marv and a flag on the play. What a throw by Kyle McCord. 46 yards.
The penalties decline. The results of the play, first down.
You sense, though, Gus, that McCord's got a little confidence, and more so Ryan Day has some confidence in McCord. Aggressive play call there. Obviously, time a factor here with only 1:11 before the half, but going deep and making it happen.
First down. 1:11 to play in the second quarter at the 42. Kyle McCord dumps it off and incomplete. That ball thrown behind his intended receiver.
From some of those throws in that game.
He's 6 of his last 7. Completes this one. Oh my goodness, Travion Henderson gets waxed. Mikey Sainra still.
The chest, what a hit.
Third down and 9. McCord underneath, caught, not a first down, but Ryan Day may go for this one as Cade Stover makes the catch in front of Michael Barrett.
He's gonna, if he's gonna go for it, he would probably take the timeout earlier than he has. He's waiting right now, and I think that he's going to try to kick a field goal here with under 5 seconds to go to try to make this the last play of the half. So he's going to discuss this with the official and let this get down to 4. Then he'll take his timeout. You know, if I was Sharon Moore, I would call a timeout and force him to kick it with more time on the clock. At least at that point, the Wolverines would have an opportunity to return a kickoff.
This one from 52 yards away. Jaden Fielding from League City, Texas. And he'll get a practice try here. And that'll be good. Let's see. Good snap, clean hole. Fielding gets it up, and he hooked it. No good. And that's the end of the first half.
Football has a better point differential than the Michigan Wolverines in this quarter. So both of these coaching staffs know what it's like to make adjustments and find success in this third quarter.
Samaj Morgan brings it back, the talented freshman from West Bloomfield, Michigan. He'll give him nice field position. Let's go downstairs and check in with Jenny. State will have something to say about that. First down and 10 at the 22. Blake Corum in the game and running back. McCarthy throwing on first down. Underneath, he's got his man. It's Loveland, turns it up, and the big tight end. Quarterback. Mullings at running back. Here's Orji. He'll run it himself. And Orji with the seam. Orji down the sideline, out of bounds at the 35. Josh Proctor pushes him out of play. Alex, a 20-yard run, first down and 10. Orji again tries to slip through the hole, stays on his feet, and they'll stand him up after a 2-yard gain. Now this is a wrinkle. Were you expecting this one, Joel?
Well,
from the 35-yard line. Opening series for Michigan here in the second half. Corum spinning. And he'll slide down.
Blake Corum, the ball carrier.
He'll get 3.
You know, these ends, JT Tuimoloau.
2 tight ends in the game. Play fake. McCarthy sprints out of the pocket, in trouble. And he throws it. Is it a catch? Roman Wilson.
Yes. The play's under further review. After review, it's an incomplete pass. The player was out of bounds. It's 4th down.
Season opener against East Carolina. This one from 50. Good snap. Got it away. Pure. Michigan.
They recruit at a high level. They play at a high level. And they need a big series here.
Next Saturday, this is one-score games this year. They won another one yesterday. 1st and 10 at the 25. McCord in trouble, and McCord goes down. Kyle McCord sacked by Mason Graham, the sophomore from Anaheim, California. 2nd and 13 at the 22. McCord delivers underneath. Marvin Harrison Jr. makes the first man miss and gets out of bounds after picking up a first down. A 14-yard, 3 catches, 82 yards for Maserati Mar. 1st and 10 at the 36. Henderson looking for that daylight. He can break one big at any.
Some success earlier. Let's see it here.
2nd and 7. They throw it out wide. Ibuka, first down, Buckeyes. I'll tell you what, I love the way Kyle McCord is playing now, Joel. He's been criticized a lot by Buckeye Nation, but he chipped Trainum with a last-second touchdown. Henderson puts his foot in the ground. And Travion. Nice gain of 4.
Got a chance here. Harrison's not being covered by Will Johnson. Will Johnson at the top of your screen. Harrison at the bottom of your screen.
They give it to Travion Henderson. He'll plow through the line. Travion Henderson, 3rd and 1. Henderson, first down, Buckeyes. First down, Chip Trainum replaces him. Trainum, stutter step. Tries to turn the corner and does. And it looks like he has a first down from the Michigan 22. Stover in motion. They'll pitch it. Trainum. And Trainum getting downhill. By Donovan Jackson. They say he has a chance to be special. 5 straight runs for the Bucks. They run it 6 straight times. Trainum. And another first down for Ohio State. Ohio State smelling pay dirt. Henderson takes it. Henderson, galloping Henderson, powers. Close to the Michigan goal line, a gain of 8. And again, looking for the touchdown, and they have it. Ohio State. Smash mouth football. He caps that drive. 8 straight runs for Ohio State. Fielding looking to equalize, and we are level at. And we've got a game so far, 17-17. How does Michigan respond? How does Michigan respond? Ohio State went on that 12-play, 75-yard drive. They ate up 5:35. 1st and 10, Wolverines at their own 25. Corum straight ahead. He'll get to the 30.
Blake Corum, the ball carrier.
We heard all getting rugged with some extra offensive linemen on the field.
2nd down and 5 at the 30. McCarthy. Underneath, caught inside. And that's Loveland again. Loveland will take a blow. Out of the offset eye. Edwards.
Donovan Edwards.
Limiting explosive plays.
Play fake, McCarthy with time. McCarthy dancing, rolling. He'll tuck it, cut it. Still on the move, J.J. McCarthy sliding down at the Ohio State 40-yard line. A 50
legs as being the toughest to defend.
1st down and 10 at the 41. Corum. He'll get 1.
Ball carrier.
These guys in the middle. McCarthy steps into his throw over the middle, wide open target. This time it's A.J. Barner still on the move. The Indiana transfer gashing the Ohio State defense for 18.
Watch Barner here because he's going to initially block out in pass protection, and it's a delay release from the tight end. They used to do this a couple of years ago really effectively with Eric All, who ended up transferring to Iowa, but Barner, the transfer from Indiana, beautiful, nice release, and it's a big first down for the Wolverines.
At Zach's, they had unfinished business. Got his knee rolled up on, folks, and we're not going to show it to you. It's ugly. Zenter also up for the Campbell Award, which is the academic Heisman. Will have to go to Las Vegas in December, and you can see the concern on the faces of this team. This is their leader, Zach Zenter.
His family was able to come down, surround him as they worked on that left leg, and now this offensive line will have to regroup. This is as
Trente Jones will replace him. First down and 10 to the 22. Corum dancing. Corum breaks a tackle to the end zone. Blake the Great, touchdown, Wolverines. James Turner for the extra point. It's good. What a game this is turning out to be. 17. And this one in the end zone for a touchback.
Well, you're talking about answering the emotional bell. 100,000 strong chanting for Zach Zenter. The entire team out on the field. And the next snap, Blake Corum, who's listening to his running back coach, Mike Hart, on the sideline, another Michigan great, goes into the end zone, flashing the 6'5".
You're going to face obstacles in this game. You're going to face obstacles all season long. How do you respond? How does Ohio State respond now? Here's the pitch. Henderson tries to cut it back. And he'll cross the line of scrimmage and gain a yard. Let's go downstairs and check in with Jenny. They're down to 9 of the 26. Kyle McCord steps into his throw. Oh, incomplete. Quentin Johnson laying the wood. Emeka Egbuka. Down 9 at the 26. McCord. Incomplete. And Ohio State will have to punt. Jake Thal, the deep man, at the Michigan 34. Wolverines with a chance to get decent field position. Mirko. And this one will be down at the 32, but a flag on the play.
Formation issue there for Ohio
Illegal
State.
formation. Kicking team number 6. 5-yard penalty will be added to the end of the kick. First down.
Donovan Edwards in the game. First and 10 at the 36. Edwards follows his block. Bounces it outside. Oh, and he's wrestled down from behind. What a tackle by Tommy Eichenberg. If not, Edwards had daylight in front of him.
Yeah, there's exactly right. They had big old 77 Trevor Keegan out in front. He was blocking Denzel.
McCarthy, quick strike, near side. Wilson turns, and a first down, Wolverines. Josh Proctor, the safety with the tackle.
A lot of wrestling going on at the end of that. Proctor was trying to keep Roman Wilson from the line to gain, try to strip on that ball. But boy, how about the momentum shift in this building over the course of the Ivy run in the last 2 fourth quarters the last couple of years.
First and 10 at the 46. Edwards, they pitch it to him. Edwards wants to throw it. Wide open. He's got his man. Loveland. Inside the Ohio State 20. 34 yards. We're back in. McCarthy to Corum. He'll slide through the hole and pick up a couple.
Blake Corum, the ball carrier.
Boy, now 20.
Second down and 8 at the 18. Will J.J. McCarthy use his legs? They hand it off Edwards. Not a lot.
Donovan Edwards.
They give him 3. Jack Sawyer brings him down.
Well, here we go to third down.
Threatening. McCarthy swings it out. Morgan and gang tackling. Incredible pursuit by Ohio State to Imoloau. Good from 50. This one from 38 and good.
Lineman up front, they would add a field goal, and now it's Michigan by 10.
And the Wolverines kick this one out of bounds, so Ohio State will get it at the 35. Rare mistake. Tommy Doman. Let's check in with Jenny.
Kickoff out of bounds. Kicking team. Ball be placed at the 35-yard line. First down.
10-0. Buckeyes start from the 35-yard line. McCord handing it off to Henderson. He'll drag defenders forward and pick up 5 yards on the play. Jalen Harrell with the tackle.
Now, and that's Marvin Harrison Jr.
Mike Sainristil looks like he's guarding him. Henderson with the sideline. First down, Buckeyes. Henderson, the pistol back. Play fake. McCord winds up, sideline, back shoulder, puts the biscuit in the basket for Julian Fleming. Ohio State getting down the field quickly. First and 10 at the 25. McCord, unflappable since the early interception. They pitch it. No, McCord tried to dump it. That one's deflected. I believe it was Derek Moore getting a hand on it, number 8.
Now, even though McCord tried to dip down and kind of...
Second down and 10 at the 25. Henderson.
Travion Henderson.
Johnson lines up with McCord. McCord to Johnson. Big opening and a first down for the Buckeyes. Great call by Ryan Day. 14 for the Buckeyes. Travion Henderson back in the game. Henderson looking. Chops his feet. Gets to the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard. Kenneth Grant, all 6'3", 314. 8-13 and counting. McCord will let it fly over the middle. Caught. Harrison, touchdown. Maserati Marvin Harrison Jr. with the 14-yard score, and just like that. And it's good. 8:05 to play in the...
It's also legacies. In this game, as a team, a player, or a coach, your legacy is on the line in the last 8 minutes.
College football on Fox continues.
With a 12-team college football playoff, we might not get a game like this on Thanksgiving weekend between these great rivals with this much on the line right now in the fourth quarter.
First down and 10 to the 25. McCarthy guns it. Sideline caught at the 30. Cornelius Johnson in front of. Second down and 4 at the 31. Play clock at 3. McCarthy gets it away. Corum. Not a lot. Tyleek Williams, first man to him. A 2-yard gain. Third down and 2 at the 33. McCarthy guns it. Caught. First down, Wolverines. Wow. Cornelius Johnson with the clock still running. 6:12 to go. First down Wolverines. They'll take their time with a 3-point lead. The winner of this game will advance to the Big Ten championship and potentially the college football playoffs. On the ground, pounding forward. Corum. He'll get 6. Ohio State with 3 Mullins and Donovan Edwards, both in the game, in the backfield. And they'll give it to Edwards. And Edwards will spin forward and pick up a first down as he gets close to midfield. First down and 10 at the 48. Corum, the pistol. Corum. And he'll get inside Ohio State territory. A 4-yard gain. Williams with the tackle.
Boy, and just
McCarthy rolls, looks, across his body, caught. Wow, what a dangerous pass. Cornelius Johnson had to lay out.
that's when he goes, good job. And I can just assume that he's sitting at home doing the same right now.
3rd down and 1. Corum. He'll get it, and a first down, Michigan.
And not only do they get that completed pass to keep the clock rolling, now they get the first down, and now Ohio State is going to have to start thinking about taking all those timeouts.
Ohio State for the Wolverines. A lot of huffing and puffing for the Ohio State defense. Corum again, outside. Corum looking for the first down, stays in bounds, picks it up, and gains 13. Michigan starting to smell it now. Indianapolis. Day of the drive coming up, which started at the Michigan 25. They've eaten up 6 minutes. Corum on first down on his birthday. Timeout Ohio State. Blake Corum turned 20.
On the run, can pop and get the first down. He should go down. They could take a knee and win the ball game.
2nd down and 8 at the 23. Corum. And he will not get the first down.
And they'll take a timeout here, which means that with no timeouts left, Ohio State could get the ball back with a 3rd down stop.
Play clock at 9. Michigan with 3 timeouts. They'll let it wind down and take a timeout.
Well, it's been a story of a couple of plays here or there.
Blake Corum in the backfield. Corum running it, trying to jump cut. He will not pick up the first as he goes down. Michael Hall Jr. with the tackle. A 2-yard gain brings up 4th and 4. Timeout.
Field goal.
Maybe they're trying to draw him offside. 4th and 4. Michigan going for it. Ohio State not biting.
Good discipline up front. They had to know that that was suspect, just as I would consider that suspect. I would take the points again with no timeouts and only 1:10. You want to force them to go the entire distance of the field in order to win this game.
So now Michigan will bring the holder from 37 yards away for James Turner. Clean snap, good hold, got it away, and good. 30-24. Doman lays into this one. Xavier Johnson inside the 5. And he'll get close to the 20. With a minute to go. Van with the tackle on special teams. Kyle McCord, he's done it before in South Bend against Notre Dame.
It's to be double covered at all times, a safety over the top, and if you're a Michigan defensive back, nobody gets behind you.
First down and 10 at the 19 for the Buckeyes. McCord dropping underneath, caught, Stover lost it, And that is an incomplete pass.
With no timeouts, you really don't want to complete the ball short of the first down marker.
McCord looking over the middle, caught at the 40. A 22-yard gain for Marvin Harrison Jr. from the 41. McCord looks, guns it, underneath, caught. Oh, dropped by Fleming, picked up by Ibuka, and that's an incomplete pass.
I think they're calling that a catch and a fumble. The officials are spotting it at the line where Emeka Ibuka recovered that ball.
And they will take a look at this one. But just like that, in 2 plays, Ohio State could be at the 40. Look at Kyle McCord.
Well, started with that beautiful
Rolling
corner
on the
route.
field was a completed pass, followed by a fumble and a recovery. The play's under further review. After review, the ruling on the field stands. First down.
So here we go, folks. Ohio State in striking distance.
They've got to be ready to snap the ball, because as soon as the officials are ready to go, they're going to wind this clock. 34 seconds. You cannot take a sack if you're Kyle McCord.
The wide receiver at the top of your screen. McCord looks, fires, intercepted. Radford and Michigan will win the game and head to the Big Ten Championship.
Sportsmanlike conduct. Michigan player 32 removing his helmet. 15-yard penalty. First step Michigan. The ruling on the field is an interception.
Rod Moore.
The pressure is from Jalen Harrell. Here's the end, the outside linebacker. Watch him come inside, a little stunt like I've talked about all day. He gets home. McCord cannot get enough on that ball to Marvin Harrison Jr. You see his arm is hit as he lets go. And there's the interception. A play on a drive like that. Either
Victory formation for the Wolverines. And that'll do it. Michigan defeats Ohio State 30-24.